Students, here we are going to study about the functions or methods. The other name of functions is methods in Java. Okay. First of all, we are going to see functions. What is called as a function? Function or method is a block in a class which contains executable instructions. It is through methods that it is possible to provide instructions to perform a particular task. In Java, it is possible to have several methods, and each of this method can call another method depending upon certain criteria. Using one method in a simple program is okay, but when it comes to big complex problems, it is necessary to segregate the problems into different segments and perform it individually. These segments can be termed as functions or methods of approaching the problem. Okay, so this is called methods. So if a big program or the problem is divided into number of segments, okay, it is called as a function or a method. So the need of method, there are some reasons to make the function or a method. That is, first one is to reducing the complexity, second one is symbol interface, and third one is reusability. Okay, so in Java, a Java method is a collection of statements that are grouped together to perform an operations. So dividing a complex problem into small components makes the program easy to understand and use. Okay, the ability to reduce the same code again and again is termed as reusability. Okay, students, now we are going to see the syntax of the method or a function. Methods have the following syntax, that is the access specifier, modifier, return type, function and name, and parameter list. Okay, then body of the method, where the access specifier is the level at which the function is accessible. They may be default, public, protected, private or static. Okay, modifier is the way it is accessible. They may be final or volatile, etc. Okay, students, so the return type is responsible for what type of data the type will be returned by the function. The data type of the variable that is being returned should be matching with the return type that is specified. Moreover, only one value can be returned by a function. The next one is function name. The function name is any valid identifier for the function used for invoking it. However, it should begin with an alphabet and should not contain any special character or space in it. So according to the convention, a function should be begin with a small letter. It contains more than one word, or the subsequent words excluding the first word should have its first letter as capital. For example, is prime number of. Okay, it consisting of three words via is, prime and number. Then the static methods of a class can directly be invoked using the class icon in BlueJ. The non-static methods can be invoked visually only after creating an object in BlueJ. So the parameters are passed to a function to pass values to it from outside its environment. Now we are going to see a program using function to add two numbers. Here we are using two numbers a and b. That is integer c equal to a plus b system.out.println of c. Static void call of, then two values b and a and b are values 7 and 9. So the output will be, if we add these two numbers, we will get the sum as 16. Okay, so these are called as parameters or the arguments. The return statement not only returns a value to a place where it is called, it is also exits the function. Depending upon what value a function is going to return, Java functions can be classified under the following three categories. First one is computational functions, second one is manipulative functions, and third one is procedural functions. So the first one, computational functions, these functions return a computed or calculated result. Okay, for example, Math dot power of. This function is used to find the power of any number, okay, which returns the power of one number to another number. Similarly, math dot sqrt of. This function is used to find out the square root of a number, okay, returns the square root of a number. Second one is manipulative function. These functions manipulate a value and returns a successive or a failure code. Generally, true is returned to indicate successful operations and false otherwise. For example, equals of check whether two strings are same or not. It returns true if two strings are same and false if they are not same. Third one is procedural functions. These functions perform an action but don't have any explicit return value. Void is used to indicate this type of functions. Okay, void tells the compiler that no value is going to return. The next one is we are going to see is formal parameter and actual parameters. Parameters means the values that is given inside the brackets of a function. If a function do not return any value, its return type should be void. Okay, so what is called as a formal parameter? The term parameter, sometimes called formal parameter, is often used to refer to the variables as found in the function definitions. While argument, okay, so the argument sometimes called as actual parameters. Arguments means the values, okay, refers to the actual inputs applied at function call. The next one is the definitions of formal parameters and actual parameter. So the formal parameter or arguments are the group of variables and its data type that is used to identify what data is to be passed to the function. The actual parameters refers to the actual values that are being passed to the function. The compiler checks with the compatibility of the actual argument list with the formal argument list. Okay, for example, um, the previous program we have seen as there. Okay, the next one is the difference between actual parameters and formal parameters. Actual parameters means the parameter list representing the actual value that is given during function invocation. Then formal parameter, the parameter list as given in the function prototype that accepts the values from the calling function. Then actual parameter, the parameter list may be variables with actual values or constants directly passed to a function. Formal parameters, the parameter list are always variables that accept the values. Then now we are going to see the concept of method prototype or the function prototype and function signature. Okay, so the function prototype refers to the return type, function name and the parameter list. It is the first line of the function definition. It is used by the compiler to identify which function is called, what type of value is it going to return, and what parameter or argument is being sent. The next one is function signature. In function signature, on the other hand, refers to the parameter list, that is the data type that comprises the parameter list, the number of variables and their order. For example, the previous program, the function signature or show of functions are variables a and b. In this, the variables a and b, a is a integer variable and b is a float variable. So the parameter list in the function prototype is termed as the formal parameters. The parameter list given during function invocation is termed as actual parameters. So a function prototype or function interface is a declaration of a function that specifies the function's name and a type signature, that is the number of parameters, data type of parameters and return types, but omits the function body. The next one is access specifiers are keywords that set the accessibility of classes, methods and other members. So the following access specifiers are available in Java. They are namely abstract, native, transient, final, static and volatile. Okay. So first one is the return type. The return type of a function is responsible for specifying what type of data the function is going to return back, and if the function is to be extracted which doesn't return anything, then void is written in the separate allocated for return type of the function. Then the functions of having void return type is used to define a function that do not return a value. However, you can still use the return statement to exit from the function. Next one is scope of a variable in functions. Okay, the scope of a variable declared within a function is limited within that function only, then it is therefore called local variables. Okay, the local variable means the variables that is used inside the function or inside the class. Variables that are declared within the function as the scope limited within the function only and has no existence outside it. Okay. The next one is methods are invoked for execution of the statement within it. Every time the function is invoked, all the time statements in it are executed right from the beginning. The next one is programmed to check whether the given integer is a prime number or not. Okay, using the function. So prime number means the number that is divisible by 1 and that same number itself. Okay, so uh, this you have to write here. We are using the loop, that is we are counting the numbers from 1 to 3, any n numbers, that is 10 numbers or whatever it may be. So if n modulus I, so the given number modulus of yeah, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, so 1 and that number equal to 0, so we have to increase the count by 1. So uh, increase the count by 1, so the loop will repeat. So if z equal to 2, then return true, else return false. Here the main method you have to write. So if f equal to true, if the value of f is true, that is the boolean value or the flag value is true, so it will return it is a prime number, otherwise it will return it is not a prime number. Now next we are going to see the call by value and call by reference. There are two methods by which a function is called. They are, first one is call by value, second one is call by reference. Okay, so in the first one, in call by value, changes in the formal parameter is not reflected back in the actual parameters. So call by value as primitive type as it in this its parameter list. Then call by reference. In call by reference, changes in the formal parameter is reflected back in the actual parameters. Okay, students. The next one is difference between call by value and call by reference. So you have to learn. Next, based on the operational side effect, functions can be classified as pure function and impure functions. So what is called as a pure function? Pure functions are those functions that do not change the state of an object. Okay. So pure functions are functions which do not change any value of any attribute or variables within the object. That is, the state of an object is not changed. It may return a primitive or a new object created within it. Since no changes is done in the past object, no side effects occurs in the attributes of the past objects remain unchanged. The next one is impure function. Impure functions are functions that changes the state of an object. Here you have to learn the differences between the pure functions and impure functions. Okay. The next one is static methods. Static methods in Java belongs to the class. So no an instant of it. They use no instant variables and will usually take input from the parameters, perform actions on it, then return some result. Okay. The next one is function overloading. Function overloading means if a function is used within another function, it is called as function overloading. So method overloading is a feature that allows a class to have more than one method having the same name in their argument list or different. So the function overloading is one of the method by which polymorphism is obtained in Java. Okay, the next one is the important keyword, this keyword. This keyword is a reference variable that refers to the current object. Okay, it can be used to refer current variables and instant variables. Okay, students, these all about the functions. So you have to read the book, and you have to find the differences of pure function and impure functions, then function signature, call by reference and call by value. Okay, then different types of keywords, new keywords and these keywords, etc.